Hello everybody, this is a Rocket 1 series. We're just going to get started with 3 Sun Salutation A's and then 3 Sun Salutation B's. So here we are jumping back, upward facing dog, and back to downward facing dog. We're going to hold here for 5 breaths, maybe pedal out the feet, shake the head out, start to loosen up the shoulders. After 5 breaths, we're going to bend our knees, look forward, step or jump to the top, halfway lift, and back all the way up, and hands down. So go into our second Sun A, halfway lift, step or jump back, up dog, and roll over the toes to down dog. Again, 5 breaths, pedaling out the feet, maybe wiggling the hips, stretching into the shoulders. After 5 breaths, bend your knees, look forward, step or jump to the top, halfway lift, and come all the way up. Here I'm coming right back into our third Sun Salutation A, jumping back, upward facing dog, and then downward facing dog. For this third one, we're going to do a twist. So open your feet out, hat mat width distance, reach and grab opposite ankle with the right hand, look underneath your left armpit, and switch sides, grabbing the left ankle with the right hand. Bring the feet back together, step or jump up, and come back to the top. Now to Sunbees, start in chair pose, hold for a breath before exhaling, hands to mat, inhale, halfway lift, step or jump back, up dog, and when we get to down dog, we're immediately going to step forward to warrior 1, right foot up, hold for 2 breaths. In Rocket, we like to jump to handstands when we are switching sides. So hop up, try not to fall on the couch, come down, chaturanga. When we push back to down dog, immediately move the left foot forward to warrior 1. Couple breaths here. Then hands down, you can either step back or hop up to a handstand, come back down into downward facing dog. Hold for 5 breaths. You're going to really want it after that. Catch your breath here, stretching the shoulders. After 5, bend your knees, look forward, step or jump up, back to chair, and then stand up. Go into Sunbees number 2. Start with chair, hands down, halfway lift, step or jump back. Right foot forward, warrior 1, hold for 2 breaths. Chaturanga or hop up to a handstand. Left foot forward, warrior 1. Hop up. And push back to downward facing dog, where we're going to hold again for 5 breaths. We start with 3 Sun A's and Sun B's to start building some heat, warming up the joints, getting the heart moving. Come back up to the beginning. And we'll go into our third Sun B. Hands down, halfway lift, step or jump back. Push to down dog, right foot forward, warrior 1. Hold for a couple breaths. Hands down, step back or hop up. Chaturanga. Left foot forward. Hands down, step back or hop up. Maybe hop up for a long time. And back to downward facing dog. Again, enjoy those 5 breaths. Jump forward, halfway lift, back to chair and to standing. All right, now we're going to go into chair again, pushing up, half chair, lean forward, hands down, up into crow pose. Hold for 5 breaths. Jump back, chaturanga. Come into warrior 1, right leg forward. Hold for a breath. Open out to warrior 2. Straighten your up, reverse your warrior. Straighten out your front leg, lean forward into triangle pose. Next exhale, look down, left hand down, revolve your triangle. Maybe bring the back foot up a little bit. And then we're going to stretch the left foot back and come into an extended side angle, hand on the outside or inside of your foot. You can either, or have your elbow on your knee. Come up to warrior 2, high crescent lunge, hands to heart center, and then twist to the left. Look down, hands down, step back, chaturanga. And from downward facing dog, we're going to go into a pincha. Forearm stand, hop up, hold for 5 to 10 breaths. And then come back down, chaturanga, and we're going to switch sides. Left foot forward, warrior 1. Open up to warrior 2. Reverse your warrior. Back to warrior 2. Straighten the front leg, lean forward into triangle. Look down, right hand down, revolve your triangle, maybe bring up the back foot. Reach the right foot back, left hand down, or to the knee, extended side angle. From here, we'll transition back up to warrior 2, high crescent lunge, hands to heart center, and then we're going to twist to the left. Look down, hands down, chaturanga, and we're going to come back into our next pincha, maybe just the mat. Forearm stand again, 5 to 10 breaths. Maybe adjust the feet this time. Maybe try funky pincha. When you're done playing, come back down. Chaturanga. And when we get back to downward facing dog, we're going to walk or jump our hands back to our feet. And we'll do hand to big toe hold, halfway lift, and then pull up. Couple breaths here. Halfway lift, inhale, and then slide your hands under the feet for Pada Hastasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Open your feet wide, come down into Malasana Yogi squat. We're going to do a twist. after I swab off my head. Put your hand down to the outside of the right, look up to the left, and then switch sides. Come up into standing forward fold, grab opposite elbows, maybe reach back, interlace your fingers, get the blood back to your head. Hands down, toe heel feet to shoulder width distance, roll yourself up, reach up on your toes, and twinkle toes to the front of the mat. One last lift, come down, open wide to the right side, wide leg standing forward bend A, hands down to the mat. Maybe choose to come up to a headstand if you'd like. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to waist, look up, and then interlace your hands behind your back. We'll go to standing forward bend C. Inhale, come all the way up, hands out, and then the D version of the pose. Thumb and index and middle finger grabbing the toes and pulling down. Going to go into a Skandasana, a side lunge. Start with the left, kind of opening up the hip as we get into some of the more forward folds and splits. Head over to the right. Back to the left. Maybe lift your chest up a little more as it's opened up some. And back to the right. Then we're coming to a forward side splits. Just bring your feet out as wide as possible. Come forward onto your elbows and just kind of breathe into the hips. Maybe experiment with kind of pushing yourself back a little bit, pulling yourself forward. Going to go into the front splits. First we'll do a half front splits, right leg forward, and then open up to a full split. I like to sit on a block. Good stretch for both the quadricep and the hamstring. We're going to switch sides. Start off again with the half split. Warm up and then open up, straight lengthen out to full split. You're going to come back into wide leg forward fold. Bring your hands behind your waist and kind of slide down your arms into a seated straddle split. Open up your legs, grab your toes, grab your ankles, grab the sides of your feet, and pull forward. Try to keep the chest forward. Don't do too much bend of the back. Try to bend at the waist. Inhale, halfway lift, and we're going to lean over to the side. You can put your right hand underneath your left hand underneath your right thigh, or you can put it underneath your right ankle. Grab the foot or toe if you have that available to you as you kind of lean over to each side. Switching sides, now onto the left. If you can grab your toe or ankle, that's preferable. Give you a little bit more stretch into there. Hands behind the back, one more straddle seated forward fold. And then we're going to move into one of the unique features of rocket, the Mula Bandha check. I need to have blocks, keep straddled, hold for 5 seconds, lift up, switch sides, bend over, push up, And we're going to do it one more time. Lean over to the right, push up, and over to the left, push up. Come to the top of the mat. We're going to do it again from the top of the mat. We're going to try to go from the seat to a crow pose, to the other side, back to crow pose, and then jump back. Chaturanga, push up and up dog. Maybe sit here for a minute since you've been bending over a lot. Open up the back, and then push back into downward facing dog. Step or jump forward. Put your hands behind your back, to hands to prayer, or touch your knuckles together. Come up, spin around, and bend forward over the right leg into stretch. Come up, twitch sides, forward over the left leg into intense leg stretch. Come back up the same way you came in, and step forward. Now we'll do some balance poses. Extended hand to big toe with the right leg. Open up to the right, look to the left. Come back to center. Release the toe, hold there. And then cross your leg over into camper's chair or half lotus. Bend over if you'd like, or just squat down. Come back up the way you came in, and then switch sides. Extended hand to big toe on the left side. Open to the side, look to the right. Back to the center. Release the hand, hold the foot, and then cross it over into standing half-bound lotus or camper's chair. Fold forward if you'd like. Come back up the same way you came in, and Summer's DC. Now we'll go to the seated series. We'll start with a Sun Salutation A again. Jumping back. We get to down dog. We're going to jump forward to a seat. Legs extended out in front of us into a staff pose. Hands to the side. Chest out. Push up. Breathe. Inhale, reach forward, grab the big toes. Keep hold, halfway lift, and then reach forward further, either grab the sides of the feet or underneath the feet. Reach back behind you, come up into a reverse plank. Come down, jump back, chaturanga, and then we'll come into some forward folds. Start off into a seated half-bound lotus. Get your right foot up into your waist. Reach around with the right hand to grab hold of the foot, or as you can see, I need to use a strap. And then lean forward, holding onto the left toe. Try to keep your hips and your shoulders straight. We'll just go ahead and switch sides here. Bring the left foot up to the waist, reach around, grab the toe or strap, and then lean forward. Go ahead and chaturanga here. Up dog, down dog, come back to a seat. We're going to do a half heroes forward fold. Start with the right foot back and lean forward. If you find that you're trying to fall to the side, think about pressing that left heel into the ground and moving it to the left. So have that that tension of the left heel digging in. For Rocket 1, I like to lean back into reclining half hero's pose. If you don't have this available to you, you can just go to your ankle, to your elbows. Make sure you stack your hands underneath your lower back when you come up to come up evenly. And then we'll chaturanga, and we're going to switch sides. Half hero's pose on the left-hand side now, left foot back, and we're going to reach out for the right foot. Halfway lift, and then lean back into reclining half hero's pose if you have it, or you can just sit up. It's real important that when you're coming up from this, that you come up even so you don't hurt your back. So that's why we stack our hands underneath our lower back. And then notice how I'm kind of keeping my left leg straight and I'm just kind of pushing my right leg through and back. That makes it easier to unwind to come back into an up dog. Now we're going to do Janushirasana, seated tree, starting with the right again. Right foot into the right thigh. Lean forward, try to keep the hips straight and the shoulders straight with the mat. We're going to move into a straight leg arm wrap, Malasana A. Reach forward. I need to grab a strap to be able to wrap my hand around my shin. Make sure you have about a fist width distance between your foot and your leg. Now we're going to twist, Malasana C. Straight leg twist to the right. Make sure the twist is coming from the waist and then the shoulders. Don't try to crink the neck back. We'll do a chaturanga in between. Come back to downward facing dog, jump through, and now we're going to have right leg forward. Seated tree. Inhale, halfway lift. Release the hands, bring the knee up. And then again, straight leg wrap arm around, Malasana A. Try to grab that with hands. Keeping the shoulders straight. Lean forward. Release the hands. Now we're going to twist to the left, Malasana C. Again, focusing on the twist in the waist, then the shoulders. Don't let the head and neck try to pull you aside. Chaturanga. And we'll come into the Rocket 1 seated, continue the Rocket 1 seated series. We'll come up into boat pose. Try to keep your back straight. Think about opening up the chest and trying to pull your shoulder blades together. You can have your knees bent here, hands down, push up for a second, and then come back. We'll go through this 3 times. Try to switch your legs when you cross over, set up, and back. And we'll sit up, and then push forward, jump back, chaturanga. Come forward to a seat, to butterfly pose. Move your mat. Get your thumbs in between your feet, open them like a book. Have your elbows on the insides of your thighs to open up, and bend forward with the chest. Try not to bend too much with the back. We'll do that next. Trying to open up the groin, leaning forward. Sit up. I like to bring my legs forward a little bit to a wide leg triangle, and here we're going to kind of bend more with the back. Maybe have your fingers over your toes and your elbows are at your shins. Sit up, open up to a wide leg straddle again. Going to have some good stretch here this time because you're even more warmed up than the first time you did it. Grab your toes, your big toes, or grab the sides of your feet. Lean forward. Now we get into the fun part. We're going to pull up into a balance of the wide leg straddle. Kind of try to hold it here. Tuck your chin to chest, and we're going to roll back. And then we're going to roll back up and try to balance up again. Keeping hold of the feet the whole time. And then come forward, bring the feet down. If you're more flexible, you may have your calves hit the ground first. Bring your feet together, jump back, up dog, and down dog. Come through to a seat, lay down. We're going to be reclining, big toe hold, similar to what we just did before, but we're laying down. Open up to the right. Back up. Inhale, pull yourself up. I like to switch sides and do a twist in here. There's not as many twists in Rocket 1. So another opportunity for a twist. Bring the leg over to the left. Arm out. Come back up. Release the toe and switch sides. Left leg up. Grab the big toe. Breathe in, come up, breathe out, hold, keep hold. You may find that one leg may be more flexible than the other. Open up to the left. Bring it back up. Inhale, come up. Switch side, switch hands, and then try to bring it over to the right into a nice twist. Come back up. Bring them down. Bring your knees to your chest. Rock back and forth. Come all the way forward, jump back. Chaturanga. From downward facing dog, jump through to a seat one more time. We're going to lay down and we're going to do a bridge pose. Interlace your fingers underneath you, pushing the hips up, trying to arch the back, pulling the shoulder blades together, opening up the chest. Maybe lift one leg and then the other. Big stretch. Release the hands, come down. Now we're going to do some wheels. Hands on either side of your head, pull all the way up. I like to start on my toes first, bring my feet in, and then come down on my heels. Think about pushing the hips up and towards the top. First wheel is always problematic. Come down, pull the knees in, rock back and forth, come back up. Again, pushing towards the top of the mat, trying to get your shoulders over your hands as much as possible. Come on down, tuck your knees in, rock back and forth. And last one, push up. Again, pushing towards the top of the mat, trying to get more of that arch in there. Breathing deeply through the belly, through the chest, because your belly's kind of tight right now. Roll the wrists, pull it in. We're going to rock back and forth all the way to a stand, so get a good momentum to a standard forward fold. Feel the back crack all the way down. Grab opposite elbows and hang. Take a few breaths here. Slowly come up. Summer's TC. Now some playtime. We're going to do some handstands. So I'm going to do a bunch of these. I'm just leaving it all in. I fail a lot, but good to see just the progression. I've been working on my my press to handstand from wide leg. What I found is like keeping the feet as close as possible to the hand, and then also kind of like locking your shoulders in so you have a good position. And then your gaze, looking towards the underside of your hand. So gazing like 5 inches below where your hands are. And I'm trying to come back down into the same thing. Take some breaths there. And chaturanga. Push back And we'll do a downward facing pigeon pose, starting with the right. Get the leg in place. I have my towel there to absorb the sweat on my head. Line up the shoulders, and then come down, forehead to the floor. In rocker, we don't spend too much time here, maybe 5 breaths. Come up, bring up the left foot, reach back, grab it, one leg king pigeon. Then we're going to come into the cow face pose. Bring your knee to the middle of the mat, bring your left knee over on top of it, right hand overhead, grab behind your back or with a strap, sit up straight, and then bend forward. Come up, come all the way forward onto the left knee, push the right leg back, and chaturanga, and we'll switch sides. Left leg up and forward into downward facing pigeon. Line up the shoulders, and then bring your head down to the ground. Come on up, straighten up, bring up the right foot, reach back and grab it, pushing that hip flexor towards the ground. Bring the left knee to the middle of the mat, stack the right leg on top of the right knee on top of it. Cow face pose on the left side, left hand goes over your head, right hand grabs behind the back or with the strap. Sit up straight and bend forward. Come forward all the way onto the right knee, push back the left knee, left leg, and then come into chaturanga. I found that's the easiest way to transition out of it instead of trying to unwind the pretzel. We're going to jump to a seat again, do one more seated forward fold. Come up. Up. We're doing some handstands. One more time. I guess I got it on the second or third try, so I figure I want to push my luck. A little more movement there. You can see my feet are back a little further. Need to have my feet a little closer to my hands to get a good position. Because if your feet's too far away, then you have much more longer for your hips to go. There we go. Try not to fall onto the couch again. All right. Well, that was entertaining. Okay. Sun Salutation A one more time. Jump back. Back to down dog. And then we're going to jump into a seat. We're going to grab opposite elbows behind your back. You could sit in lotus pose and grab your opposite feet. And then bend forward. Come up. Going to put hands on our knees. Take some deep breaths in. Now we're going to place our hands on the ground on either side of our waist. And we're going to press ourselves up. Do a little twist first. To the left and to the right. Then press our hands down, hold for 10 seconds, and then release. Last chaturanga, come up, back, Come forward to a seat, lie back into Reclining Butterfly. Left hand on your heart, right hand on your belly. And breathe in preparation for your final resting place. Open up, stretch your legs out, open up your arms, palms up. Make sure that you pull your shoulders back so that your shoulders are flat on the ground. Feel like a little arch in your back. And breathe into your Shavasana. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Interlace your fingers, press up over your head. Bring your knees up. Shift to the left so you can roll to the right. Take a deep breath in with your belly. Extend the left leg, come up to a seat. Hands to heart center. Return to normal breathing. Bring your thumbs to your forehead. Deep breath in. And lean forward. Thank you for watching.